What's a sword doing here? I don't think I would have made it here without you two.
Welcome everyone to the Twitch stage. It is me, Kelly Link, and I'm here with Anna Prosser, and we got Francis with us, and we are going to be talking about Secret of Mana.
Yes, yes.
Finally, it is being remade. It's been, what, 24 years? It came out in 93?
93, yeah, it's been a while, and I think a lot of fans out there are really anticipating the remake. So it's been a lot of positive sentiment so far. We showed, you just saw the trailer, and everyone's been talking about it, and it's a lot of positivity coming out for a time-honored classic.
That's certainly been positivity coming from Kelly all day waiting for this segment. This one's here to you.
The opening of that trailer, when you read the intro that you get to read in the game as well, and then it explodes into Secret of Mana with that music. Oh, the music's so good.
It really just hits you like in this nostalgic feels. You know,
we get to look at gameplay right now. I love it. It reminds me of Dragon Quest, the animation style.
Yeah. This is obviously we're looking at some footage from. There's a demo right now you can play on the show floor if you're here at PAX. We're looking at a iconic scene from the original version of the game.
The opening scene.
The opening scene. Yep. With Elliot and his friend telling Randy, you shouldn't be here, and why you're such a scaredy cat.
So, how has this game changed from the original beyond the way that it looks?
Yeah. So obviously, beyond the way that it looks, 3D. It's a 3D remake of the original version. There's some definite changes to it. There's voice acting. Obviously, you can hear them talking now. You can hear their expressions, and I think there is newly rearranged music. It's newly rearranged, but it also still pays tribute to the original version of the game.
Oh, great!
The producers really wanted to make sure that when they remade it, that the fans would be the fans of the original game would be happy as well. Because he himself is a fan of the original game. So with that in mind, he wanted to make sure that everything that he made, everything that he touched, was paying tribute to the original version and is faithful to the original game.
That mini-map is awesome because that's pretty much the game.
Yeah, I think you'll notice, the mini-map is actually the old version of the game.
Is it? I thought it might be. It looks exactly like. That's amazing.
Yep. A lot of people have caught that, and it's,
I mean, it's a great shout out to the original, right?
Exactly.
You don't really necessarily need a mini-map in it, but...
Actually, there's been a lot of people talking about, I'm so happy that there's actually a mini-map on the screen now, and it's the fact that it's a callback to the original just makes them...
Yeah.
That's true.
But it's so visibly Secret of Mana. Yeah. I mean, even in this newly reworked style, it's amazing how well I recognize where I'm walking already from the old version. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, everything about it, there's nothing... The story, the gameplay is all the same from the original version, just, in 3D.
So one of my favorite things about Secret of Mana, I'm actually playing it right now. I got to do a presentation with Square Enix a week and a half ago, so I started playing the game because I watched my big sister play it back then. I was only 3 years old when the game came out.
Did you do local co-op?
No, I didn't because she was not going to give me a controller.
Oh no, she was that type of sister.
That's what I wanted to ask. It's still going to be local co-op. That was so important with this game. It was the synergy because now doing it as a solo player, it's kind of difficult. There's a lot of key hits where if you hit the mob, they'll stutter. You can't damage them until you do it again. But working with other people, you have a lot of better coordination.
So yes, there is going to be local co-op. You'll be able to play with up to 2 other people, up to 3 players. And I grew up playing the game. Everything's for this game is coming kind of full circle for me because I played the game local co-op with my dad when I was growing up.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and he was always yelling at me, making sure I was doing things. So.
Who did you get to play?
I was Popoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were the damage dealer. You were the one that did the burst damage with the magic.
I was.
Are the spells and the I don't want to call them summons. What do they call them?
I'm not sure.
The spirits or whatever, you get like 8 of them. They have different types of magic abilities. Do they look the same or do they interpret the magic abilities different now?
They look the same, just up-resed and for 3D.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh yes, they still have the treasure chest and they still shake it.
And you still get lots of candy.
Lots of candy until you need chocolate bars, right?
Yep. And you see, the iconic little enemy rabbi, cute rabbis. I don't know why you killed them all, but you know, they're attacking you and you have to defend yourself.
So I do want to point out in like the nuances of making a remaking a game that what was it just came, a Crash Bandicoot. It looks like a perfect remake of it, but a lot of people are saying that like the jump is like a few frames different, it's a little harder. Is there something like that in this game where the gameplay mechanics might be slightly different?
There might be. So when Oyomata-san took the role on to produce the new version of the game, he wanted to make sure that, you know, some of the bugs and some of the, you know, harder things that the original version of the game had were fixed. You know, some of those were considered bugs, and he wanted to make sure that, you know, the new experience did not have that. So some things like that might be slightly changed, but for the most part, the story and the gameplay are exactly like the original version.
I'm curious because we're talking a lot about those who have played the game before and want to go back down nostalgia lane, but there are certainly people who have never played the game before that might play it for the first time here. If that's the case, what are those people going to find in this game, and what's there for them?
So I mean, a lot of the old school players were, you know, for me, I played the original, and I always told my friends about it, and they're like, I heard about it, but I didn't really, it was not really for me. I'm used to more, you know, modern graphics and things like that, so they didn't really go back and play it.
Right.
But for new players of the game who want to join and play this version, it's the exact same version of the game that their friends played.
Cool.
So, you know, if they had fear of missing out on the original version, they can play this, you know, up-res, 3D, and you know, the same features of the original game, like music.
And just the co-op. There's not, I mean, what other RPG is there that offers this?
Actually, I can't really think of one. You know, local co-op is kind of rare nowadays, and I think you know, bringing back a game like Secret of Mana, who had it and did it really well, is you know.
It wouldn't be available for online, right?
No, so currently no plans for online multiplayer, but local multiplayer, yes. So sit on the couch with 2 of your friends and have a good time.
Cool. I know a lot of other players might not have cared about this, but I love the fact that when you collect the orbs, you level up the weapons. They actually look different. They have different names.
They do.
Does he actually hold different weapons when he upgrades them?
Yeah, so you can see when you pull the sword, it looks like a brown,
bronze sword.
Rusty-looking sword, but that will change, you know, as you progress.
What is it, Excalibur, I think is the final form of it?
I believe so.
Okay, I'm like 1 orb away right now on Excalibur. I'm in, what is it, Empire City or Imperial City?
So you can see it there, and then when this comes out in February, is the new version.
Oh, I know. I'm going to beat the game, and then once it comes out, I'm going to play it and beat it again.
Yeah. I think also what's important to note is the music. So Kikuta-san, he actually did the original. He was the composer for the original Secret of Mana.
Oh, wow.
He came back and made sure that you know, he was asked to do a new score for the game. But it still should be the original music.
I mean, I can hear it right now. It sounds like the original.
It sounds like the original, but there's slight differences. And the way that he went about it was he was asked to do it, and he wanted to make sure that there were slight differences. Like when you hear it and you play the original, that it wouldn't exactly meet your expectation, but it would improve the music for original fans.
So to give you the nostalgia, but also something a little.
Exactly, yeah.
And to anyone that has never played Secret of Mana before, I mean, it's such an amazing game. It has such a classic story with classic messages spread across of it. And a lot of people might look at that and see it as being a little green, a little maybe like God, I don't want to say immature, but by playing this game, I kind of had the same impression. And when I learned it, I realized how complex it was, how difficult the combat is. Defeating Spiky Tiger was really hard.
Yeah, he's still pretty hard. I've actually been there, and he's actually pretty hard still. So, but yeah, I mean, that's actually a good point because that was the original game. It was a little lighthearted. It wasn't exactly a Final Fantasy, you know, because it wasn't a Final Fantasy. They had some liberties to do things like, you know, you can meet Santa Claus in the game, and you can do things like that.
And Rudolph.
And yeah, and the shop dancers, you know, dance at you when they're trying to sell you goods and stuff like that. So it was very lighthearted, and it wasn't exactly immature, but it was more happy. It was like it was a high fantasy. You know what I mean?
There's also DLC.
There is DLC, so if you saw at the end of the trailer, if you pre-order the game, you can, on PSN or Steam, you can get cool little outfits for your team. So one of them is actually a Moogle suit, which, you know, is a call to Final Fantasy, and also a tiger suit. The
tiger suit is actually what they wear in the game. I think it's not the final like armor that you can wear, but there's the tiger bikini and then the tiger suits for the sprites.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. but they all look like onesies, and they're all very cute.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Are those the only DLC that's planned for this game, or is there plans to do more?
There might be future plans, yes.
Purely aesthetic?
Purely aesthetic.
And Secret of Mana 2.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, Seiken Densetsu 3 is actually one of the fan favorites, and it would be highly anticipated if we did announce that. But that's not happening right now. So.
I was so fortunate that if you die in this, that you get rezzed constantly, because I was just so unaware of how the combat's supposed to work in this first like really big combat. I just died over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think key is, I mean, people on the floor are playing it right now, and they're kind of learning too. The key is to stay away from him when he lands, because he does acid breath and just slide.
Yep, I wasn't even aware. I had to have someone from Square Enix show me that you can charge up a move beyond 100% to where it has to be like level 1, 2, 3, however high up the weapon is.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many mechanics that I didn't know that I had to learn with it. It's really is a complex game. It's not a very simple game.
Exactly, and I think it was a complex game to begin with in the original version, because it wasn't turn-based. You know, it was. I consider it to be one of the first action RPGs, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely, yeah, you're right. An action RPG. It's not really a strategic RPG. It's not turn-based. It's an action RPG.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Francis. And where can people find more information about this game, and when is it going to be released, and where?
Yep. So it'll be coming out on February 15th, early next year. You can go to secretofmanagame.com to get more information. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Managame.
Thank you so much. Guys, on behalf of Anna and myself, everyone, don't go anywhere. This is the Twitch stage here at PAX West 2017, and we still have more games coming up right after this.